As always, please like this video. Go ahead and comment in the section down below if you enjoy this type of content, what you like, what you don't like. And of course, please subscribe to the channel. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and of course, it means a lot to us whenever you do that. So, without further ado, let's get into this watch review. I'm going to be talking about the Rolex Daytona. Now, of course, I'm going to be talking about a specific one, but the Daytona is an iconic watch. Rolex, they designed the Daytona with the 3 subdials in that specific pattern, and a lot of lower end watchmakers, they took that design and they implemented it into their own watches, changing it a little bit here and there, but it's an iconic look, and I think it's an absolutely beautiful look. Now this watch, it didn't get all that much praise, and it didn't have all that much desirability when it first came out. Now it came out in 2016, that's when it was introduced. And a lot of people, well, they thought it was okay looking, but nothing to, lose their minds over. It wasn't until 2019 that this watch exploded, and I'm talking in popularity, desirability, and of course, in price. Now, Rolex doesn't change their price for retail, but for this watch on the gray market, it is close to tripling the price that Rolex sells it for. Now, some of you may have already guessed which watch I'm going to be talking about. The John Mayer. Now, before I get into why it's actually called the John Mayer, I just want to go over the specs of this watch for a second. So it's the 116508. It is an entirely all gold 18 karat yellow gold watch with a beautiful Sunburst dial. Now this dial is absolutely gorgeous. Depending on which way the light is hitting it, it can look like a deep dark green, even black. But once you turn it just a little bit, the way that light hits it, it just illuminates into this beautiful green. Absolutely love the dial. Beneath that dial, you have the caliber. It's an in-house caliber, and it's the 4130, and it's encased in a 40 millimeter casing. It's I believe 12.2 millimeters in thickness or in height, and so it sits pretty well on the wrist, and I think a lot of people can pull it off. It's an absolutely beautiful watch. Why is it called the John Mayer? Well, we have a watch called the James Cameron. That was to pay homage to James Cameron. Maybe it's the same thing with the John Mayer. Not so fast. That's actually not the case. Funny enough, the reason it's called the John Mayer stems all the way back to a single interview that he did in 2019. You see, it was introduced in 2016, and John Mayer had reached out to his AD, and he saw the watch, and he loved the watch, and he purchased the watch. Now, in this interview, he was saying that essentially he believed this was going to be the next big watch that people were just going to fall in love with. He said, man, an all gold watch with a green dial, it's beautiful. Why aren't people falling in love with this watch right now? Because at the time it was a lot easier to get. Now, for him to say that, he has a worldwide celebrity status. He's well known as a fantastic musician. And within the watch industry, he's well known to be quite the watch enthusiast. If you haven't seen his collection, it's pretty extensive and it's pretty impressive. He does have a beautiful collection. But when someone like him says, I think this is gonna be the next big thing, what do you think is gonna happen? Well, people are gonna look at that, they're gonna hear that, and they're gonna say, well, maybe it is gonna be the next big thing. And they jump on that bandwagon. And that's exactly what happened, at least in my opinion, my theory, that's exactly what happened. People listened to it and they jumped on that bandwagon. And here we are, just almost 3 years later, as of filming this. And the price of this watch retails for $34,900, and we here at Woven Luxury Timepieces just sold this one for $90,000. Would you spend $90,000 on this watch? Obviously, a lot of people do, and we're more than happy for them. I think it's a beautiful watch, and depending on the market value, by definition, I mean, that is what it's worth. But if you were to walk into an AD in 2016 to 2019, would you have bought this watch? Would you have enjoyed this watch? I think it's an absolutely beautiful watch. It's a stunner, but even I am a little surprised by the absolute explosion of the desirability and love and admiration for this watch that happened just from a celebrity saying a few sentences about it. I think it's a little funny the way we work, but honestly, I think I've fallen prey to it as well, because I'm blown away whenever this watch comes in and we look at it and see it. It seems like it's so next level. So anyways, let me know in the comment section below. Do you like this watch? And if you do you think you would have liked this watch just a few years ago? Let us know. We'll get back to the episode.